And welcome, everyone. Welcome to Learn a Trade. My name is Kevin Tate. Thank you for joining me today. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. Today's broadcast is titled Boost Your Career HVAC Training for Service Members and Veterans. I wanted to touch on this because I recently came across this program. It's called the Trade Warriors HVAC training program, and right now it's available in a few states. So I kind of wanted to get this information out to you all, and hopefully you will be able to reach out to the staff for this training program because I think it'll be a good thing, especially for those veterans that are out there and service members. If you are a veteran or a service member, shoot me a comment, let me know if you're still active. Let me know if you're still active. This program is really good for those service members that are still active in service, and it's really good for the veterans that have already um, ended their service. So feel free to reach out with that information. It's good to know what who's out there and what's going on. But this program, again, it's called the Trade Warriors HVAC Training Program, and it's partnered with Trane, and Trane is very active in seeking out technicians. They know it's a shortage, and they're really active on getting out there and acquiring the right personnel for to work in the companies that are partnered with them. So let me just share my screen here, and then I want to give you all a look, and I'm going to see if I can share a couple of videos with you by the staff of this program, and it'll give you a little more information. And then also, I'm going to put the link in the comments here so you can have that link. Actually, let me do that right now, and then that way you'll already have it. So I'm going to post this in the comments, and you'll want to reach out. Go check it out. Check out the website, and down in the description, I have put the email, so you can also contact them through email. And now, when you see the video, you'll be able to understand what the program is about and stuff like that. I really can't go through the whole um, spiel of the program. It'll be better to get it from them, from the staff. But as you can see, if you go through the website, it will give you a lot of information. It'll give you a lot of reviews. So for you veterans out there, and for you people that are in the service still, this is a very good opportunity. I'm also going to show you a list of some of their class schedule that they had for this year. I'm going to show you that also. So let me just see if I can pick up the training program here. Yeah, this is like a program overview. And as you can see here, right now, this program started in 2021, okay? So it's going to take some time for this program to grow, but this program is going to grow, no doubt, because it's helping veterans. They've already placed a lot of technicians people that have gotten out of the service and moved on into civilian life, and it's a really good thing that they're doing this, and this is through Trane, and they're in partnership with a company called Right Tech, HVAC training, and Right Tech is it was started by two gentlemen, and you'll hear them in the video that I'm gonna play in a few moments. But one of them spent a number of years in the HVAC contract as a HVAC contractor, and then later on an instructor. And the other gentleman, he spent a lot of time in the Navy and also was involved with HVAC. So they got together and they formed Right Tech, and these are the instructors for this program. And you'll hear from them in a moment. But I wanted you to see the class schedule. See, they have so far they have one location in Fort Liberty, which is the new name of Fort Bragg in North Carolina. So this one is located in North Carolina. Uh, Fort Cavazos is located in Texas. So those are the two locations that they have right now, but I am sure that they're going to be getting some new locations, real soon. I know that they have mentioned that they're working on that, but this program is it's a 8-week HVAC training program, and it will provide active duty servicemen and women who are within 6 months of separation from the service or current veterans to be trained and placed in an HVAC service technician or service installer, okay, with a trained dealer. Okay, so and keep in mind, you're going to find out when you hear this next video, this is at no cost to the veterans. Okay, so the partners um, are actually um, paying for this training, and what they do is they recruit through the individuals that are in the program. This way, they know that the individuals that they choose are going to be trained, they're going to be certified, and everything. Okay, they're going to be EPA certified, NATE certified, um, and then also A2L certified too. So um, keep that in mind. But and this again, this is for the service members, active duty service members, and veterans that have separated already. Okay, it's the program is. I'm just going to read some of the highlights of it, but it's 250 plus hours of technician training, service and maintenance installation, designed for the student with little to no HVAC knowledge, 25% classroom instruction, 75% hands on training in the Trane Learning Lab. So that's another thing. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up the this video clip. It's about 19 minutes, so just check it out. Hopefully, you can hear it. If you have any issues hearing it, just shoot me a comment in the comment section and let me know. Okay. Hey, Mike Reed. Thanks for joining in, brother. Appreciate you, man. All right, so I'm gonna start this up and let me if you have trouble hearing it.
Hello, welcome to this episode of the HVAC Dealer Podcast. My name is Beth Allen, and I'm going to spend some time talking to our Trade Warriors Program Manager and Right Tech instructors. By the end of this podcast, we will have gone through the background of the Trade Warriors program, learned about the curriculum included in the program, and how you as a dealer can get involved. To get started, let's learn some more about our guests, Crystal Hyman, Anthony Maynor, and Bill Timberlake. Crystal, why don't you kick us off?
Hi, everyone. Crystal Hyman. I lead the Dealer and Contractor Experience team under the Strategy and Growth Initiatives organization at Trane Technologies. I've been with Trane Technologies for about 20 years, and 15 of that has been working with dealers in either sales or sales support or sales leadership roles. I will hand it over to you, Anthony, to introduce yourself.
Okay, and hi everyone. I'm Anthony Maynor with Right Tech HVAC Training. Long story short, I spent the last 23 years of my life as an HVAC contractor in Central North Carolina. Exited that business about 5 years ago and teamed up with my very good friend Bill Timberlake, who'll introduce himself in a minute, and we formed Right Tech HVAC Training. So pretty much my entire professional working career has been spent in the heating and air conditioning industry.
Hi, Anthony, everybody else. Bill Timberlake here. My background is different than Anthony, and that's why we actually formed this company. I spent 24 years in the Navy. Loved the Navy, loved everything about it. When I got out of the Navy, I did a lot of engineering, and then I eventually went in the direction of teaching, and I taught for 7 years at a local junior college here in Raleigh, North Carolina, teaching heating and cooling, of course. So when I met Anthony, we were like, you know, we got this background of military, HVAC contractor. We both actually taught at the college. I was full-time and Anthony was part-time. What if we kind of pulled all these resources together and we try to do things maybe smarter, better, just try to optimize the whole process? So that's how we kind of formed the company Right Tech, is that we wanted to make the process of learning HVAC to be more straightforward, better on time management, and just come up with a product that we know that we could teach students HVAC in less time than you do with a college, but also put out a much better student. So that's kind of where we got this start, and back in 2018 or so. So it's been a while.
That's great. Thank you guys for sharing your background. I'll start with Crystal because I have some questions about the inception of the Trade Warriors program. First of all, can you let our audience know a brief description of what the Trade Warriors program is?
Sure, Beth. The Trade Warriors program bridges the gap between transitioning military veterans and Trane and American Standard dealers nationwide. This program provides rewarding careers for qualified technicians and help our dealers grow their business. Just a brief outline of how it works. We have on-base recruiters that finds and screens candidates, and they're excused from their active duty to attend training. They receive 8 weeks, which is about 250 hours of hands-on training at the Trade Warriors Learning Lab. They get their EPA and NATE certifications. And while they're attending this class, we have our recruiters working in conjunction with Trane Technologies employees to make the dealer introductions, who interview and offer jobs to the soldiers. These soldiers will move to their home of record or equivalent. So even though the program is only in a few states right now, we have placed soldiers across the United States. And then we do follow up with 30, 60, 90-day check-ins to see how they've been doing with their dealer that's hired them.
Great. You said we've got some locations in a couple of states. Can you tell me more about those and how long they've been there?
Sure. So we started the program. We had our first class kickoff at the end of 2021 in Fort Bragg, which is now called Fort Liberty here in North Carolina. And then we've recently opened this year another branch in Cavazos, which is down in Texas. And we are at 13 total classes.
That's great. Sounds like it's going well. What are the benefits of the program to the soldier?
Sure. This program is of no cost to the soldier. They receive transition counseling from the recruiters and from Bill as a former Navy veteran as well. They receive very quality training, and it's very much hands-on. Bill mentioned teaching at the community college earlier in his career. And I think I'll speak for you, Bill, that you felt it was a bit of death by PowerPoint for people who wanted a job outside and working with their hands. And so they're finding really quality job offers when they exit the program and they're ready for their next career.
Why would a dealer benefit from the program?
Well, they receive really great human beings that have intrinsic qualities that have been ingrained in them since they've joined the military and most likely before. But the ladies and gentlemen that are in this program have really great leadership skills, calm under pressure. They have the ability to follow processes, integrity. I could go on about the qualities of the people. But when you couple that with 250 hours of training, and again, hands-on training, the dealer is receiving an employee that is a quality technician well on their way to being revenue generating members of their team.
That's awesome. Sounds like a great program. What made Trane and American Standard come up with this? Like, what are the benefits to them from the program?
How it came about is Anthony asked me to lunch one day, and I've known Anthony for about 18 years. And he asked me for lunch and started talking about the opportunity to have a class like this on our military base. And we talked about the gap between the number of HVAC technicians that our dealers need to grow and the number of skilled technicians that are looking to join the industry. Right now, we have a shortage of about 110,000 technicians, and that's looking to grow to about 250,000 gap in the next 5 years. And so we talked about what would it be like if we could create a program that matched the soldiers that are leaving the military, who sometimes do have a hard time as their next step in life. They have a hard time transitioning out and finding their next career if they don't have the right training and the right resources to help match them to a quality job offer. And so we thought that this program would really be an opportunity to serve the men and women who served our country and helping them find meaningful work after they transition out of the military service into civilian life. And then also selfishly, it helps our dealers find the quality technicians that they may be lacking, and it may be inhibiting their growth. So it's a win-win-win.
Yeah, it sure is. That's amazing. I'd love to be a part of this program as well so that we can, give back to those that have served our country. Thank you for your insights. Now I'll be asking our Right Tech trainers about the program and what you can expect from soldiers who have graduated from the program. You guys have already gone through your introduction, so I'll jump right in. Can you give me a brief overview of how long the class is and what you go over in that class?
Sure, Beth. Our class is 8 weeks long, and that was modeled after the military boot camps that are typically how long? 8 weeks long. So we wanted a time frame that wasn't too short, not too long. So eight weeks turned out to be perfect. Also, keep in mind that all these soldiers are still on active duty. So they come to us while on active duty. So they're still getting paid. They still have their medical and dental and all that good stuff. So they come with that peace of mind that they still have a paycheck, but they can come and learn and listen. So that the 8 weeks was just a perfect setup for us to get them in, teach them as much as we can, about 250 hours of training, which turned out to be roughly the same amount of HVAC hours that I had back at the college when I was there teaching as well for the 1 year program. So we took the 1 year program, made it in about 8 weeks of just HVAC. So that's how the whole thing came about.
Wow, it's crazy that you can condense it that much. It's a short class, so how did you decide what to include in the class lessons?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we really wanted to focus on building a foundation that they could leave this training with, get out there in the workplace, get some on-the-job training, and really just grow and thrive from. So we start out focusing very heavily on the fundamentals of basic electricity, the refrigeration cycle. As Crystal said, we've got a live learning lab at both locations with lots of live actual hands-on equipment. So we spend several weeks diving into air conditioning, not only just theory, but we're able to do a lot of hands-on, from recoveries to simulated repairs to recharging systems. We teach them how to work on and test everything on the electrical side of these systems as well, all the different components, reading of wiring diagrams. We then move on about 4 weeks in to teaching about heat pumps. That's a very natural progression after you've done roughly 3.5, 4 weeks of air conditioning training. And then we top that off with training on gas furnaces, both 80 and 90%. So they really understand the different types of furnaces they'll encounter out there in the workplace, just all the fundamental types of systems that most dealers are selling and installing across most parts of the country. But on top of that, we really learned the importance of some of the behind the scenes topics that the dealers will certainly appreciate and understand, like really understanding superheat and subcooling and how to use those data points, if you will, to properly charge a system, how to use them to diagnose a system. We do a lot of low voltage wiring training. That's always been a real weak spot in the industry, something that I always experienced having hired a lot of students from the community college program. I talked to Bill, what are some of the biggest weaknesses that require the most time to get them up to speed on? And we decided that would be an emphasis item for us. Again, low voltage, superheat, subcooling. And by the time they get to week 7, week 8, they're fairly advanced at this point. We spend some time on teaching basic airflow and the importance of it, but more importantly, how to measure it. Static pressure and using manometers and things, again, that many of the dealers probably struggle with doing effectively out there in the workplace. We give them about 2 days of basic torch safety and hands-on training doing brazing of copper piping. And then to top it off, some very introductory basic troubleshooting skills. So the idea is to turn out a student through this syllabus that really understands and has a solid foundation to where when they land with a Trane American Standard dealer that can bring them on board, pair them with a trusted individual, somebody that kind of knows that company and how they operate, get them acclimated to the real world. In a fairly short period of time, they have somebody that is fully functioning as an entry-level technician that they can have confidence in putting in a vehicle and sending out to customers' job sites.
I heard you talking about the training that they go through. Are there ever any times where participants aren't performing well and need some extra help? And how do you guys go about that?
Well, we do have one standing policy here that not everybody who starts the program will finish the program. We do work with everybody. We mentor, we'll tutor, we'll meet students or soldiers before class, during lunch, after. We'll do whatever it takes for a soldier to cross that finish line. But at the end of the day, we want that soldier to want this program. So typically speaking, in a class of 20 that we will start off with, we may just graduate maybe 17 or 18 soldiers. We do our best to help everybody in this program, but again, we do maintain standards because what we do is very important. And once they go out and work with the dealers, we want to maintain that trust level as well.
Did they leave the program with any certifications?
They do. We work on a few things. One thing that we know they have to have is the EPA 608 certification. So that's something that we do the first 2 weeks, and we use that to help them get a good fundamental in what we do. So that test is given the first 2 weeks. And that's part of our process too, to figure out who really wants to program or not, because that's a very tough test. Typically speaking, again, not everybody who takes this test will pass, but for those who do, they will continue in the program. So they'll have their like universal for the 608. We also will administer the NATE work or ready to work exam as well. And with those 2 certifications, we do feel like the dealers know what they're getting. Third.
Okay, I just want to stop it right there for a minute. But just to reiterate on what he just said, as far as the certification that soldier is going to receive after they finish this program, he mentioned that the soldier will go through their EPA 608 exam and receive their certification if they pass. So when he mentioned that, he mentioned the universal type of the certification. So they're really trying to get these soldiers and veterans. They're trying to get them certified with their universal EPA certification for a Section 608. So no, that's another good thing. But let's just keep going with this so you can get the full gist of what's going on with this program.
And just as important, here in North Carolina, where this program kicked off, the state of North Carolina also recognizes this program, and they give us 1,000 hours of work credit for this program to be applied towards their license when they graduate. That is
Wow.
amazing to think in 8 weeks they get 1,000 hours of credit. So we do as much as we can to give the soldiers a head start so they can make this a positive career.
That really gets them started and gets them ready to be in their own truck and making their own house calls. Do you have a timeline for how long you feel it takes for a soldier coming out of this program to really be on their own?
It varies widely, both from individual to individual as well as from company to company. We've learned some companies will bring folks in and ride them with a trusted employee, a mentor, a lead technician, if you will, for some period of time. And we've heard 2 to 3 weeks, and then they're already putting folks in trucks and sending them out on PM maintenance calls and just sort of entry junior level service calls, things that don't appear to be something that requires their top most seasoned technician. We've had other companies that have told us flat out that, hey, we have an internal onboarding process and everybody in our company rides with somebody for 90 days before we turn them loose on their own. So we hear a wide disparity, but actually was at a dinner just a few nights ago with a company that's hired 5 individuals now, and 2 from one of our most recent cohorts that just graduated at the end of September. And these guys exited military service soon thereafter. They've been on board for about 4 weeks now. And one of those technicians was telling me that they're already, in addition to maintenance, they're already sending him out to do some basic no heat calls, basic troubleshooting, basic diagnostics. Every company's a little unique, Beth, in that regard, but given a good individual with good aptitude and some good mentorship from the parent company, I would say that 4 to 6 weeks minimum is probably a very safe planning point, just to make sure they really understand company protocol. They're used to dealing with customers, etc.
Well, thank you. I think I've got all my questions answered. Is there anything else you guys wanted to highlight before we turn it back over to Crystal?
I guess the last thing is that we have a passion for this, and even the folks that we hire to help us teach, that's one thing we check on their resumes. Their passion to teach these soldiers. So it's not just to teach them HVAC, but it's also to mentor. It is to guide. It is to provide maybe like future references for job employment. I mean, it's everything. So we see this as more than just a job, I guess is what I'm trying to say. We see this as something that's a positive for everybody involved. More times than not, these soldiers are 22, 23 years old. They're married with kids. What we do here is bigger than us. And it's very important that I think folks know about this program and they're willing to sign up and hire our soldiers.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for adding that. I will pass it on to Crystal to kind of wrap us up on how our dealers can get involved in this program. So, Crystal, my first question is, how can a dealer get involved?
A dealer can get involved by reaching out to their account manager or territory manager. They can also go to our Trade Warriors websites. We have trane.trade-warriors.com or americanstandard.trade-warriors.com. Fill out a form, and then we have an intake process in which our recruiting partners will interview the dealer and make sure they're a good fit for the program. And then we'll start placing soldiers with that dealer as they become available.
What are the costs associated with the program?
Sure. So there's an $8,000 investment by the dealers to hire a soldier. If you join the program and raise your hand that you'd be interested in interviewing a soldier, there's no cost to the dealer until they decide to make that hire. And at that point, again, it's an $8,000 investment. It is co-op eligible should the dealer have accrued those co-op funds. And they do not get charged until 90 days after the soldier has been hired by the dealership. And we're 100% certain that it's a fit for them to move forward. So there's no obligation until both the soldier and the dealer decide that they want to continue working together.
That's great. And what does that $8,000 investment cover as the program?
So that covers the cost of building out the Trade Warriors Learning Lab. It covers the cost of the recruitment of the dealers and the soldiers. It covers the cost of the training, and then some tools, et cetera, that the soldiers need and the trainers need to be successful.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. I think those are all my questions for you. Crystal, is there anything else anyone wants to add for our dealers?
I do echo what Bill says about having the passion. And I've said it earlier, and I've heard some folks on the base say this as well, but this is an opportunity not only to bridge the gap, the technician shortage gap, but it is an opportunity for us to serve the men and women that have served us in our country.
Totally agree. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time and I appreciate you putting yourself out there and doing this podcast with me. I will wrap it up now. Thank you.
Good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right. And that was, an introduction by the staff at the Trade Warriors program. So you heard a lot, and hopefully, you guys can share this with, everyone knows a veteran. Everyone has a friend or a family member that's a veteran or that is currently serving in the military, and this is a big opportunity for them to, if they plan to separate from the military. If they're currently active and they're planning to separate from the military, this is a tremendous opportunity for them to get in uh, with this training. It's at no cost, and I believe they mentioned a little bit about how it works as far as the soldiers that are currently active. Um, if you're a soldier and you're currently active, you'll still get your health benefits. You'll still get paid on a whatever basis you're getting paid on. If it's every 2 weeks, if it's every month, you're still going to receive your compensation at your pay grade, and you'll go away to the training. And once you complete the training, you will be placed with one of the Trane partners. Okay, one of the partners that are with associated with Trane. So, I ask you all to, please share this information with those that that are in the service currently, those that that are veterans that are looking to get into HVAC, and help them out with it, because it's a tremendous opportunity for them to get into the industry and really get some good training and a good foundation in that industry, because they're gonna come out of this 8-week training program with all of their certifications that they need, and then they're gonna go on to work for one of the industry partners with Trane, and they're going to have a period of on-the-job training. They're going to ride along with an experienced technician. They're going to learn more and more each and every day. So they're gonna grow from this. So it's really a good thing that Trane is doing for veterans, and I really want to share this information and get it out there. So I appreciate it if you could help by sharing this information with others that are in that situation. I would like to share one more talk with the staff, and then there's also a talk with a previous student that went through the program, a graduate. So I'm going to start that one up next, and then we'll just go through there. And then if you have any questions or anything, shoot it down into the comments. If you have any comments, please do that. And again, if you know anyone that's a veteran or that's currently serving, share this information with them. And like I said, right now they're only in 2 locations for the classes, for the training, and the training is 8 weeks long. But when they get out, they're going to be fully certified, and they're going to already have a job with one of the partners. Okay, so I'm going to start this next one up, and they're going to be talking to a dealer that's associated with Trane, and then they're going to talk to a previous graduate.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our podcast today. We are excited to talk about our Trade Warriors program. We have Andrew and Pete with us today from Modern Mechanical. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
All right, Andrew, so let's go ahead and get started. But before we talk about Trade Warriors, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself? Tell us a little bit about Modern Mechanical.
Sure. So I've been doing this for 30 years. We started Modern Mechanical in 2007 with 3 employees. And as of today, we have 105 employees. So we've grown quite a bit in the last 17 years. Every day has been a joy.
It's awesome. It's really good to hear. Pete, what about you? Can you tell us a little bit about your background, where you've been, where you came from, and how you ended up where you are now?
Yeah, sure. My name's Peter. I was actually an Army veteran. I was in for 6.5 years. I've been working here at Modern Mechanical for about 2 years. And yeah, that's pretty much my story. I've been in the Army. I was a wheeled vehicle mechanic. When I was getting out, I decided I wanted to get into the heating and air industry.
Very good. Well, we're happy to have you over here with us in HVAC now. Okay, so let's jump into the Trade Warriors program. Andrew, I know you've been a part of this now for several years now. You've had a lot of success. You've hired a lot of really great soldiers like Pete with us today. So tell us just a little bit about your experience with the program. You know, what's the interview process like? How do you decide to make an offer? Just tell us a little bit about what that looks like for you.
Yeah, so we started from day one with Trade Warriors. We had the opportunity to get involved when it was a pilot program, and it has been a problem in our industry to get good quality help. We were on board. The process was set up. It was fairly simple. The soldiers went through the training, and then at a certain point, we had an opportunity to interview them, and was very direct and straightforward in the interview. From their standpoint, from our standpoint, they hadn't worked in the HVAC industry. So I was very direct of what we do, when we do it, hot summers, cold winters. As we went through the interview process, took detailed notes. And then when we were done, as far as the process of offering a job, I want to say that everybody that I interviewed that was going to settle in the Raleigh area, we offered a position to. Because once we got Pete on board, we really realized that this was a little bit of a gold mine for us. The soldiers came in with all the intangibles: on time, work ethic, the willing to learn, the willing to do well and excel. And for us, it was simple because all we had to do was fill the heating and air conditioning part. So that process has been good. We're on soldier number 10. We just had 2 start last week. So we've hired 10 since the beginning of the program, and we'll continue to do so.
That's awesome. So tell us what it looks like when they've just graduated the program, their first day, their first week. What does that look like as far as from a training perspective? What are you having to actually go in and train the soldiers on after they graduate?
When we get them in the door here, we want to teach them the Modern Mechanical way of doing things. We have our set way of how we want things done. And first day in processing, they get their van. And then for about a full week, 4 to 6 week process, they are paired up with a senior technician. And that process and time frame is not set in stone. Mm-hmm. If they excel right off the bat, then we move them in on their own. If they need a little more time, then we give them a little more time. The hardest part we find is programs that we use. Everything's done on the iPad, so we've got to teach that. The heating and air part, they come along fairly quickly, and no more than 8 weeks they're in the truck and they're out doing maintenances. So it's, like I said, it's been a little bit of a gold mine for us.
Awesome. That's really good to hear. And so when they come to you, you feel like that they are, as far as the HVAC piece, you're not having to go in and do a ton of that training. You're more so training on Modern Mechanical and the way Modern Mechanical does business.
Yeah, we definitely are. And they are starting out doing maintenance. And then as they progress, we start assigning tasks to them: compressor replacements, heat exchangers, repairs, things of that nature. The more that they excel at that, the more we put on them. I mean, in a 2-year time period, Pete came in the door and by summer was doing service calls, and now he's a full-time service tech for us. So it's going pretty quick.
That's wonderful. Okay. So let's jump over to you, Pete. Tell us first, how did you hear about the Trade Warriors program?
So I actually heard about it through a friend. Whenever I was deciding to separate from the military, there was a time frame where you have to go around on the post. My final duty station was here at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And when I was going around to do my paperwork to leave, I had another friend who was also getting out and was talking to me. We were talking about different career fields, different jobs, and he mentioned that he saw a flyer on the wall for a heating and air schooling program. And I didn't see that because I thoroughly looked through those. And I asked him, say, next time you see that, take a picture and send it to me. And that's exactly what he did. I think it was less than a week later, he found that flyer and he took a picture of it and sent it to me saying there's a Trade Warrior program that will teach you, license you, certify you for heating and air conditioning. And I thought about that a lot. I did a lot of research. Is this a career field that I want to do? Is this a excelling career field? And everything gave me a green light, and I was pretty confident. So I decided to go ahead and fill out that paperwork and try my hand at doing this course that I heard about.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you chose the right path. Tell us a little bit about the classes. So what did you like about the classes? When you graduated, did you feel prepared to come into modern mechanical and get out there in the field? So just tell us a little bit about that.
When I went through, so it was the first Trade Warrior program. So like Andrew said, like the pilot program, the classes, I couldn't tell you anything bad about them. In the beginning, it was small. So we had, I think, 12 people, maybe. It was a small class. Everyone got along. The instructors were very knowledgeable. They taught at everyone's pace. They weren't trying to move too fast or anything. Very hands-on. And they were in the industry for a long time too. So it's not just a schoolhouse kind of environment. They were telling us things they've seen on the job site and real life situations. So I don't have anything bad to say about that class. It was great. We learned a lot. We got a lot of hands-on, a lot of being able to work with other people. So the whole class learning experience was phenomenal.
Yeah, that's awesome. You were learning from the experts.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about the interview process? How did that look for you?
Whenever we were reaching towards the end of our class, someone within the program reached out and for my case, I wanted to stay local in the Raleigh area, but for other people who were moving across the country to California, Florida, wherever it may be, they found different owners that were interested in hiring and they set up a meeting time. And when me and a few other people who were staying local got a couple different companies and Andrew came in, he was very professional. We just sat down and he gave it to me straight. He said, hey, look, I'm explaining everything about modern mechanical, the benefits, this, that, and the other, and explained what the day-to-day job would be like. And it was a very smooth transition, very easygoing process. It was a lot easier than I thought it would have been.
Good. So what is it about modern mechanical when, Andrew was explaining to you, what is it about modern mechanical that made you think this is my place? This is where I want to accept an offer?
I'd say straight off the bat, the honesty. Andrew, whenever I talked to him, he was very professional. He was talking to me like a human. He was very honest about things. He said, hey, looking forward to hiring you. This is what the days are like. Starting off, you might like it, you might not. You have good days, you have bad days. His honesty and openness made me think, okay, no other person I've talked to they were just sugarcoating everything. Yeah. But Andrew, he just seemed very personable. And that really appealed to me.
That's great. So then tell us, so you accepted the offer, and then what was that first week like for you?
My first week, whenever I did start modern mechanical, I was riding around with another technician, senior technician, and day to day, like Andrew said, that the first thing they teach you is how to do the modern mechanical things. It wasn't necessarily the heating and air things, getting your hands dirty, but I would ride around with another technician. He taught me how to do maintenances, what to look for, how to talk with homeowners, all the little things that everyone needs to know right when you first start a job. Working with someone that's been doing this for modern mechanical for a long time, it really helped me out to kind of get my own process down, get my feet under me. And then from there, you start seeing more complicated jobs. We started seeing different jobs. And eventually, instead of him teaching me, we started working together on things and really just developing the way that a technician should be at modern mechanical.
I love that. I think that made the experience seamless for you.
Absolutely.
Which is fantastic. Before we wrap up, I do want to ask one more question to each of you, and this is about a piece of advice that you would give. So, Andrew, there was a company looking to join the program or thinking about hiring from Trade Warriors program. What's one piece of advice that you would give to them?
I would tell them that there's not a cost to this program. There's an investment, but it's not a cost. And if you look at it from that standpoint and you invest in a soldier, you're going to be rewarded. There's no question about that. So
I love that. And what about you, Peter? What would you tell a soldier that was thinking about joining the Trade Warriors program?
I think if you're in the military and you're planning on separating and heating and air is the field that you want to go into, I think it's a no-brainer. The classes, the courses, the learning, the hands-on, the people you meet, it's seamless. It's top of the line education you're going to get. So if that's truly a field you want to go into, this program's a no-brainer.
Very good. Well, thank you both. Andrew, thank you for supporting the Trade Warriors program. Pete, thank you for your service to our country and now your service in the HVAC industry. If there are folks listening to the podcast and you have questions about our Trade Warriors program, reach out to your account manager or your local sales leader. Thank you all for joining.
All right, and that wraps that up for the talks. But I wanted to share that with you all because this program is awesome, in my opinion, and a lot of other people same way, a lot of other veterans that I've spoken with about it. And, I just hope that you all can grasp this. And if you are a veteran or if you're a service member, take advantage and reach out to them, reach out to the Trade Warriors program. I have put their website link in the comment section, and I've also put it into the description of this video, and also I put their email, so you can, contact Trade Warriors with any further questions that you may have, with any, if you're looking for some specifics, though they're the ones that you want to contact. So, definitely take that step and reach out to them. And again, right now, this training is available in North Carolina, Fort Bragg, which is now called Fort Liberty, and also out in Texas. Okay. So they can explain all of the details to you. But again, for all of you service members and veterans, this is at no cost to you. So, I mean, this is tremendous that they're doing this for the veterans. And I really, hope that you all share this with other service members and other veterans that you may know. And, get the word out to them, show them the video, let them see this, because it's tremendous. It's a tremendous opportunity to get into the industry. And there's no better name that's out there, to do this under. You're doing this under Trane and all of the Trane partners, all of the partners with Trane, all of the dealers with Trane. So this is a tremendous opportunity. I hope you all can grasp it and take advantage of it. If you fit this, if this fits you, this will be a good opportunity for you to get the training and get into the industry. But that's all I have for now on this. I appreciate your time. I hope you all can catch this on the replay and share it with others. All right. And thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate you. Take care. Stay well.